All right, welcome back. Like, comment, subscribe, and feed the algorithm. See you next time. Never mind. You can look at the video and see it's longer than that. Don't let me fool you. Okay. We went over character creation. You take the pillars, and we're not going to do a recap this session. Session. You can tell I'm a DM. Right. So you have your narrative about yourself. That you have your narrative for your life, your goal, what you want to do. You know that you want to collect all of these things, and then you want to express them. Why do you want to express them? Because you have a goal. And if I was like talking to you personally and doing one-on-one coaching, then I could actually give you an example of what your goal is, and so here's your goal and here's how it works. For me, my goal is one of them. My life, Lord willing, is going to be very long, and there's so much stuff to do. If you want to do 100 things, you got to live 100 years. So I have a lot more than 100 things I want to do. So for now, it's collect all this self-improvement stuff and help guys like you, and then eventually foster kids, because I love kids, because I was some bad stuff happened in my childhood and my siblings, and so I have a heart for kids, so I want to foster some kids and help them out in that way, and of course help you guys, because you guys are just kids, usually neglected, abused, hurt kids, just in big bodies, and you're suffering from the same thing. So I want to help you, which is why why you're watching the video, why I made it, because I'm trying to help you and help myself. Yay. My method of speech, like this, is totally different from real life, and totally different from script, and from stuff you'll see later on this channel. This is like, when you go back and watch this after you see my future content, and you go back and you're like, was he crazy? It's like, I know I looked a little crazy. That's just because I'm role-playing this crazy personality. Normally, I'm a lot different. And I'm not just like tired all the time. That's not what I mean. But it's more collected. But I don't really have my thoughts collected in front of me right now. And I definitely don't have a script. So in order to keep this going and make it, not sure about interesting to watch, but to make it informative and to actually get through the bullet points that are listed here on my phone, I've got to, have high energy, and therefore I adopt a more high energy persona. That's my role playing. So back to this. You want your identity, and you want it to actually be meaningful to you, and therefore you have to have a goal. I want to do this. I want to help the children. However it appears for you, whatever form it takes. You have your own identity about who you are and how you intend to achieve those goals, and what kind of person you will be to achieve those goals. And you have various hopes and goals about the state of the 3 pillars which you want to achieve over time. And don't overdo it and be like, I want everything by 24. It's like, well, likely not happen, likely won't. So then you want to start to role play your character. After you've gone through Slave and you've done your dopamine reassignment, dopamine detox, dopamine fast, it's really just dopamine reassignment from one low value activity, escapism, to a high value activity like working out, eating well, learning a language, whatever your goals are. Well, that's a big old caterpillar. You're a beautiful boy, but get off. All right, so right. You want to speak your new narrative, dress the part, organize your environment to encourage you to do the same, and then it'll be just, you can kind of watch how easy life becomes at that point when you have your narrative about yourself, and it's reinforced through your visuals and audio. Get to that in a minute. This video. It's reinforced, and you're like, this is who I am, this is what I do. And you see it on your body and in your environment, and you have written out the self-authoring narrative of your life, and you're like, wow, this is it, wow. And life becomes a lot easier. And you actually start to do the things that you want to do. And like, wow, really, that's it, that's all? It's like, that's what, like the very few people who have actually gotten that far, they say, this is it, this is cool, I did it. And they're only half right. At that point, you're playing Skyrim. You're the hero and you're going through, but guess what? In real life, it's a lot harder to do that, to play Skyrim. Because in Skyrim, you're the Dragonborn, you're the PC, you have like 300 health and the enemies have like 20. So it's like in Skyrim, it works because it's a video game and the game designers made you more powerful than everybody. You're like a big Gestalt character. That's like a character with multiple classes all rolled into one. That's you. You can do anything and everything all at once. In real life, you can't. In real life, to actually play the game of life, you need to adopt a few elements from Skyrim, from a video game like visuals, but then the crux, the meat of the actual gameplay is not with controller. It's with narrative. And how you actually play the game mostly is like you play D&D. It's with narrative, not with a controller, and it's in a party. Ding, ding, ding! Extremely important. You have to have a party. And if you've never played D&D, a party is just the other players around the table. You're all playing characters. It's like essentially playing Skyrim multiplayer, where everyone isn't like the Dragonborn, the biggest ultimate hero ever. Everyone's pretty much a normal guy, but they have their own classes and such. And by the way, in the comments, if you're like, oh, everyone's a normal guy, all the D&D players, all the D&D characters are like, demigods. It's like, I know, that's a problem. But essentially, I'm trying to help the viewers not get confused by mentioning the problems with this one specific tabletop RPG. I'm trying to help them, okay? So, sorry if that was confusing to you other gamer guys. You stop commenting. Actually, keep commenting. Feed the algorithm. Love it. Thank you, by the way. So, back to this. So, the way you play the game of life is in a party. You need 3 or 4, or 5 maybe, if you have a large party. You need 3 or 4 other people who want to, other people who are also protagonists, who have also gone through slave, and who want to live their own lives and complete their own main quest and do their own destinies, and they're willing to help you do yours at the same time. They're willing to play the game of life along with you, and you guys all fight the same monsters, and you help each other and share resources. But here's the really important and essential thing about a party. In a party, you get that audio I've been mentioning for the last few episodes. You get that, you have your visuals, which is, what you wear, your environment, what you see, and that can be something like a calendar or a notice board or an inspirational quote or anything visual that reminds you of your identity and who you are and your goal and everything. Like, this is what my life is going to be now. It's not going to be playing games, eating potato chips. It's going to be, working out, helping the children, getting $1 million so I can, have a big charity organization. Like, whatever your goal is, your personal goal that you really feel in your heart, whatever that is, you have your visuals, you need your audio. What your audio is hearing other people tell you your narrative. Yes, it's that. It's that simple. You need to not only speak your own narrative, but you need other people to speak your narrative back to you. And in a party, it's polite if you return the favor and speak their narratives. So it's one thing to say, Mom, Dad, I want to be, this thing, X. I want to be Batman. I want to fight crime in the city. This is my destiny. I'm supposed to fight crime, jumping along rooftops, wearing black. This is what I'm supposed to do. Okay, well, if your parents say, no, that's not, get a job, join Wayne Enterprises, and, just make cool toys to sell to the government, then you're likely not going to fulfill your destiny because they are telling you an opposing narrative. They're saying, no, your narrative is trash. Here's a new narrative. And, well, parents usually have a lot of weight with their words, so we end up like, okay, parents, I'll do what you say. But say you don't have parents, or just not around. Say they aren't telling you, they aren't contradicting your narrative, like Bruce Wayne, he didn't. Well, he just has his own, or you just have your own narrative, and you're the only one saying it. It's just you. Well, then it kind of comes down to how good of a persuader are you? Can you convince yourself? Can you, all by yourself, convince yourself that this is your true identity? Can you be like, I am Batman, and I don't care if no one else agrees. I don't care if other people tell me I'm not, because guess what? A lot of people are going to tell you you're not Batman. They may not have the same authority in their words as your mother and father, but other people are going to tell you, no, that's not your destiny. Like, oh, you want to be a what? Nah, that doesn't work. You should go to college and get a job and blah, blah, blah. Be an NPC. You want to be a protagonist? Wait, you want to go and clear out dungeons and caves and old castles? You want to fight monsters and get treasure? Now that doesn't sound safe. You should go to college and get a job. Like, just be an NPC like me. I mean, it's the NPCs who tell you to be NPCs. And you're like, no, I have a destiny and a purpose, and I already went through slave, and I suffered a whole lot, and Matthias told me this is what I'm supposed to do and what I'm supposed to be, and I agree. I finally found it for myself, so no, I'm going to do this. Okay. It's likely not going to succeed if it's just you telling your own narrative and other people either not supporting you or actively opposing your narrative. So that's what you get a party for. The party is, the other protagonists in your group who say, oh, you want to be that? I think you will. Yes, you will. I see the evidence. You went through slave. You're working on this. You're a protagonist. You're clearly a protagonist. You just went through slave. You started the hero's journey. You have proven it. And I see your evidence. Oh, I see how you're dressed. I see your room. I see your visuals. You are telling me your narrative. I believe your narrative. I'm telling you my narrative through all mine, through my words and my visuals. I'm telling you my narrative. We are all telling each other our own narratives, and we are supporting each other with each other's narratives. And that focus group, that encouragement is where you find your motivation. Yes, you need other people. Sorry, you can't lone wolf it. People talk about self-motivation. Where do I find motivation? Where do I find self-discipline? Where do I find self-motivation? At the top of the highest mountain. It's really hard to find, really hard to get, and honestly, you don't need it. What you need is a group. What you need is people. The self-discipline comes after you get group discipline. Here, we're at, up to 12 minutes. Like, comment, subscribe, feed the algorithm. Next video.